Details of the BYD Shark have finally been revealed by BYD themselves, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at this, some of the facts that you've been told about the BYD Shark have been completely wrong. Now, the media has said it's going to have 1,340 kilometers of range. That was off by 500 kilometers. They made crazy claims about it having 700 horsepower or more than 500 kilowatt. That's completely false as well. Here's the real story. Thanks for watching. Great to see you guys. You're watching the Electric Viking, and I'm Sam Evans. The BYD Shark is a plug-in hybrid. I rarely report about plug-in hybrids, but the truth is that most countries around the world, we don't have electric utes yet, fully electric utes yet. This is, well, at least it's better than just internal combustion. Most utes or pickup trucks, most pickup trucks sold outside of America use diesel. Diesel is shocking for you. It's much worse than petrol. It's terrible to breathe in it. And the BYD Shark, even though I personally would much prefer a fully electric version, which will become available apparently in 2025. Having plug-in hybrid, it does mean that, hey, it's got 100 kilometers of NEDC range, so that's probably about 90 kilometers on the WLTP cycle. Anyway, you're going to get about 90 kilometers of real-world range using batteries alone. That would cover probably about 80% of trips. Most people, even pickup truck drivers, don't drive more than 90 kilometers per day, meaning in theory, you could drive this as just an electric pickup truck or just an electric ute. Now, what are the new details? For one, we do know 100% exactly what the range, the size is, and the power. And on two of those three counts, the media were completely false in what they reported about it, unfortunately, which has probably misled a lot of people. So numerous media outlets have just reported the size. For one, yes, it's about 10% bigger than a Ford Ranger and a Toyota Hilux. So it's wider, significantly wider in fact, and it's longer than both of those vehicles. We know the power, the performance, etc. All right, the power. Front motor has 170 kilowatt and 310 newton meters of torque, so that's about 220 horsepower. The rear motor has 150 kilowatt, about 185, 190 horsepower, and 340 newton meters. Total system power is more than 321 kilowatt. So between 321 to say 330 kilowatt, it's about 430 to 440 horsepower. It's a lot of power, but it's just not what we were expecting, because some of the media was saying, like I said, 500 kilowatt. And yeah, it's nothing like that. So they were saying it was going to be based on the Fangcheng Bao platform. It is on that platform, but it doesn't have anywhere near the power of that vehicle. The body is, like I said, larger than a Ranger and a Hilux. So this will be a very heavy vehicle. The new Fangcheng Bao SUV weighs 3,900 kilograms. It's about 1,600 kilograms more than a Ford Ranger or a Hilux. This is very likely to be a similar weight. So it's likely to weigh around 8,000 pounds. It will be heavier than a Tesla Cybertruck. Most likely. Not most likely, almost certainly. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't consider one, because the price will be much lower and you'll be able to actually buy one of these. That's the big difference. Now, it does have a 1.5 litre turbo petrol engine, which obviously you'll have to use once you've gone through your 90 kilometers of EV only range. Performance 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour is 5.7 seconds. Fuel consumption 7.5 litres per 100 kilometers. Brake timing, all right. Unfortunately, BYD are going to have some problems selling this vehicle here in Australia for this one reason. It will be lambasted. Personally, I couldn't care less. I don't carry anything this heavy, but 2.5 tons is brake towing capacity. Now, if you're under 3.5 tons here in Australia, you get the media just have a field day on you. They say no one's going to want to buy it. They won't be able to tow their boat, tow their caravan. In the real world, I don't think most people don't tow boats and caravans. Some people do, but most people don't. 2.5 ton brake towing would be okay for most people, but truthfully, this will definitely affect its sales. Payload is pretty good, 835 kilogram payload. Combined driving range on the NEDC cycle, which is a little bit more lenient than WLTP, is 840 kilometers. So WLTP will probably be about 780 kilometers. EV only range on NEDC is 100 kilometers. WLTP, that's probably about 90. It does have vehicle to load. That's pretty cool for being able to charge your stuff and go camping and charge things. And it does have a 12.8 inch infotainment screen. Not real big, but it's got a 10.25 8-inch digital cluster as well that sits right in front of the driver. It's got Apple Car Key NFC, 360-degree camera, wireless phone charger, heads-up display, a full active safety suite, and it's due in Australia in late 2024. So Ford, they are making a Ranger plug-in hybrid, but the Shark will apparently beat the Ford Ranger plug-in hybrid to market. I don't believe the plug-in hybrid Ford is actually due until 2025, along with a Volkswagen version, an Amarok version of that as well. So the battery size, it is, first of all, it's a lithium iron phosphate blade battery, and the size is 29.6 kilowatt hours. So essentially, to say it's a 30 kilowatt hour battery. In other words, it's exactly half the size of the battery that you get in the long-range BYD Atto 3 and in the long-range version of the BYD Dolphin. Now, for those of you who are like me and really want an electric version of this, yes, it will be coming. We don't know when. We think it's 2025, but it may or may not be. Most likely, BYD will need to manufacture the new electric-only version using their Blade battery version 2, which has about a 20% higher energy density than BYD's existing Blade batteries. So I think they need those batteries really to make this vehicle work. Otherwise, the battery size would just be absolutely enormous, or you wouldn't get much range. I think that's probably what BYD are waiting for before they manufacture a fully electric version of this vehicle. Some other cool things about this vehicle that we think are going into it. It will have an electric-powered body control suspension system called DiSys. It's an adjustable suspension system powered by artificial intelligence algorithms that can react very, very fast. And the Shark will also be able to power other vehicles as well as electronic devices with its bidirectional charging capability. So, I mean, if you've got an EV and you bought this because you don't have much choice in terms of electric pickup trucks, you would be able to charge your EV with this battery. The BYD Shark, in terms of production, this is primarily an overseas vehicle, not really a Chinese marketed vehicle, because there's restrictions on commercial vehicles, including pickups in China. In some of the biggest markets in China, such as Beijing, Hangzhou, and Chengdu, you can't even drive pickup trucks in certain areas. Anyway, this model will be produced at BYD's Chinese plants at the moment, but it could be produced in the future at a Thai plant. Thailand is a huge hub for automotive manufacturing. BYD are planning on building a plant there. The company is looking for a location in Mexico as well to build a factory, with BYD America's chief executive Stella Li telling Reuters that earlier this year. So who are its direct rivals, guys? Who are the rivals for this vehicle? Well, I believe the Great Wall Motors, their new hybrid vehicle, is a rival for this vehicle. It's 65,000 Australian dollars. That's around 42,000 US dollars. That is a hybrid. That's not a plug-in hybrid, and it's a similar size to this BYD Shark, but in terms of its abilities, I think, well, for one, it can tow a little bit more than that. I believe it can tow 3.5 tons. But in terms of its actual abilities, you can't drive it as an EV-only vehicle. To be honest, I think this new BYD Shark is significantly better in quite a few different ways. But that's probably its only real rival. There's no other hybrid pickup trucks on the market currently. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.